Have you ever looked up at a thunderstorm and wondered if a powerful god was hurling lightning bolts from the sky? For the ancient Greeks, this wasn't just a fantasy. It was their reality, a world ruled by a family of powerful, flawed, and fascinating deities known as the Olympians. Today, we're climbing Mount Olympus to meet them. Let's start at the very top with Zeus, the king of the gods. Picture the ultimate CEO of the cosmos. He wields thunder and lightning, controls the skies, and dishes out justice, or at least his version of it. But Zeus wasn't just a stern ruler. He had a major weakness for beautiful mortals and goddesses, which led to countless dramatic affairs and a whole host of heroic and not-so-heroic children. His constant escapades kept his wife, the powerful queen of the gods, Hera, very busy. Hera was the goddess of marriage and family. You'd think that would make her a nurturing figure, right? Well, not exactly. As the eternally betrayed wife of Zeus, she became famous for her jealousy and vengeful plots against her husband's lovers and their children. Imagine having her as a stepmother. Yet, she was also a symbol of unwavering commitment, a fierce protector of marriage, and a queen who demanded respect. Her relationship with Zeus was the original power couple drama, full of passion, betrayal, and epic arguments that could literally shake the heavens. Now, let's meet Zeus's brothers, who drew lots with him to divide the world. Poseidon, the moody and tempestuous brother, drew the sea. He was the master of oceans, earthquakes, and horses, an odd combination, but it worked for him. When he was in a good mood, the seas were calm and sailors were safe. But when he was angry, he'd strike the earth with his trident, creating destructive earthquakes and monstrous waves. He was just as impulsive as Zeus, and his temper tantrums were the stuff of legend. The third brother, Hades, drew the short straw and became the ruler of the underworld. Often misunderstood as an evil figure, Hades was actually more of a grim and solitary administrator. He wasn't the god of death itself, that was Thanatos, but the king of the realm where souls went after death. He was solemn, serious, and fiercely protective of his domain. His most famous story is his abduction of Persephone, the daughter of the goddess of the harvest, Demeter. This act, while controversial, ultimately resulted in the creation of the seasons, as Demeter's grief in winter mirrored her daughter's time in the underworld. Moving on to Zeus's children, we meet some of the most famous figures in mythology. First up is Athena, the goddess of wisdom, warfare, and strategic thinking. Legend has it she sprang fully grown and armored from Zeus's head. She was the patron goddess of Athens, a brilliant tactician who favored diplomacy over brute force. Unlike the chaotic war god Ares, Athena represented the intelligent, strategic side of conflict. She was a master craftswoman, a virgin goddess, and a symbol of civilization and reason. Her polar opposite was Ares, the god of war, all bloodlust and violence. Ares thrived on chaos and the battlefield. While the Greeks respected his power, they didn't exactly like him. He was impulsive, brutal, and often on the losing side of fights, especially when he went up against his half-sister Athena. He represented the sheer, untamed horror of war, a force to be feared rather than admired. Then there's Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, and desire. Depending on the myth, she was either born from the sea foam or was a daughter of Zeus. She was irresistibly beautiful, and her power over the hearts of gods and mortals was absolute. She had a magic girdle that made her impossible to resist. But love wasn't always sweet. Aphrodite's own love life was messy. She was unhappily married to the lame blacksmith god Hephaestus, but had a long-standing, passionate affair with Ares. Her vanity and meddling caused a lot of trouble, including kicking off the Trojan War by promising the most beautiful woman in the world to a Trojan prince. What about the twins, Apollo and Artemis? They were the children of Zeus and the Titaness Leto. Apollo was the god of pretty much everything cool: music, poetry, prophecy, medicine, and the sun. He was the epitome of order and youthful beauty. He drove the sun chariot across the sky each day and delivered prophecies through his oracle at Delphi. But don't let his pretty face fool you. He had a fearsome temper and could be incredibly cruel when crossed. His twin sister, Artemis, was the goddess of the hunt, the wilderness, wild animals, and the moon. A fiercely independent virgin goddess, she roamed the forests with her band of huntresses. She was a protector of young girls, but a formidable and deadly force to anyone who disrespected her or the natural world. If Apollo represented the civilized, artistic side of life, Artemis embodied the wild, untamed spirit of nature. Let's not forget Hermes, the messenger of the gods. With his winged sandals and helmet, he was the fastest of all the gods, zipping between Olympus, Earth, and the underworld. He was the god of travelers, merchants, and thieves, a clever trickster who invented the lyre on the day he was born. Hermes was the great communicator, the god who could cross any boundary and talk his way out of any situation. He was charming, cunning, and always on the move. Of course, this is just a glimpse into the sprawling family tree of the Greek gods. There's Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry, who brought both ecstasy and madness. There's Hephaestus, the master blacksmith who crafted the gods' weapons and thrones, despite being cast out of Olympus for his physical imperfections. There's Demeter, the grieving mother whose sorrow brings winter to the world. These gods weren't distant, perfect beings. They were a dysfunctional family on a cosmic scale. They were vain, jealous, and petty. They fell in love, held grudges, and made terrible mistakes. And that's what makes their stories so timeless. They reflect our own human nature, our ambitions, our flaws, our capacity for both great love and terrible rage. Earthquakes were the wrath of Poseidon. The changing seasons were the result of a mother's love and loss. Genius ideas were gifts from Athena. These stories gave meaning to a chaotic and often frightening world. They explored justice, fate, heroism, and the very essence of what it means to be human.